Hello, I'm documenting how I installed OpenWRT on my Netgear N150 model number WPN824N router for the first time. These are the steps I took. First, I searched for the terms OpenWRT and my router number because someone had already done the effort. I could see this page detailing how to do the setup in detail, and then I went through the instructions here, and there were certain warnings saying this is a development kind of branch, so there won't be any web interface. So in case you are seeing this for your model number 2, just make sure that you are comfortable working on the command line for a while until you can go in and actually install a user interface called Lucy. For this particular router, there were already warnings in the forum saying it doesn't have enough memory inside it. Just like your computer has RAM or a flash storage, even this router has a flash storage, but it doesn't have enough space to have a Lucy web interface. So if that is going to be your case too, which you can find out if you go through forums, just be cautioned that you should be working on a command line hereafter. And then factory upgrade, because I'm installing it for the first time. I need to a factory image, so I downloaded this generic squashfs factory.img. This is the first thing in the list. I didn't even see that there was a second link, so I just went ahead and downloaded this. So now that I have the .img file, the second thing I did was go to router login. Go to routerlogin.com, the place how you access the upgrade section for your Netgear router. So I was not using any opening my box or connecting JTAG or any other serial cables. I was just doing it through the Netgear's default Wi-Fi upgrade interface. So I just went ahead and then pointed to my downloaded .img file. In 3 minutes, I lost my connection to Wi-Fi because obviously the router was getting restarted by itself. So at the end of 3 minutes, I came here. I sat next to my router and modem connection, and then I moved the connection from the in port to one of these out ports. And then I disconnected my modem and connected this end to my laptop. So now that I'm no more connected through Wi-Fi, but I'm connected through the LAN connection to my router. Yeah. So why I did this is that the important point is when you install OpenWRT for the first time, the Wi-Fi is disabled by default, so you have to enable it. So there's no question of connecting it over Wi-Fi. You cannot connect it to Wi-Fi for the first time. Also make sure you're going through this. So once I was connected, you can actually get these things from the documentation, that you need to connect through SSH. And this root account does not have any password. You don't need any keys. So you just issue SSH root at 192.168.1.1 and you're good. You'll be connected through SSH. This is the prompt I get after SSH. And then 2 tools are your friends here: UCI and then OPKG. OPKG is like a package manager which you can use to install packages, because OpenWRT is simply Linux. Just as you have apt-get install on a Ubuntu or yum install on a Red Hat or a Fedora machine, you have OPKG here. But OPKG is the second thing. First you need to do UCI. So now our task is to enable Wi-Fi. So this option I found out from the documentation. If you do a UCA, you don't need to worry about any permissions because as you can see, you're by default root. so you don't need to do any sudo. You do a UCI. UCI is the tool. UCI get wireless.radio0.disabled, which returns 1, which means it's yes, it is disabled. So you will do a UCI set wireless.radio. You can see here UCI set wireless.radio0.disabled equal to 0. So you are turning off the disable bit, so it will become enabled, and then you do a UCI commit. This is the default workflow, and then you do a Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a command here, so you need to type Wi-Fi as a separate command, and when you hit enter, you see this blue light coming on. By default it was turned off. After we did this UCI commit and Wi-Fi command, this came up, and then the default network that came up was named OpenWRT, and it's an open connection. And now the task for us is to turn on a secure, to convert our open network into a password protected network. So wireless security standards currently say that WPA-PSK2 is the secure and recommended for home users, which is by default you would be using if you are using this router or any router with password protection earlier. Don't go with WEP or WPA. We're just doing WPA2-PSK. So to enable this, while I'm still connected using my Ethernet, not as you are seeing currently, but as I told you, while connecting this Ethernet cable to the laptop, I did a UCI show wireless, which showed me some options where I could see. I was searching for the name OpenWRT, so luckily I found it as wireless.radio@0 something dot SSID equal to OpenWRT, and on the same pattern I could see dot encryption equal to none. So I already read from the documentation that you need to use a key called dot key to set the password. So these were the things I did. I used the command UCI set wireless dot something whatever I could see from the results of UCI show wireless. So I just went ahead saying UCI set wireless.radio@0 dot something dot SSID equal to my network name. SSID is the network name that you see while you are trying to connect to the Wi-Fi from any device. So dot SSID equal to, in between single quotations I gave my desired network name, and then I did the same procedure for dot encryption equal to you specify PSK2. You don't need to do WPA hyphen or any such. You just do a PSK2, and then for dot key you set up the password you require in plain text. So you do 3 times UCI set for SSID, UCI set for key, UCI set for encryption, and at the end you do UCI commit just once, and then Wi-Fi, and then that's how you turn your secured Wi-Fi on. If your router has enough space, if you try to do this, you'll try to find out. You can find out when I connected my Ethernet cable back to my modem, and when I had the internet coming up, I again did an SSH root into my router, and then I did opkg install Lucy. Lucy is what adds GUI to this UC tool. But then because my router said not enough space, I couldn't go ahead. This was already mentioned in the forums. But if it is possible, I would recommend you do an opkg install Lucy or Lucy-SSL. If it works on your device, which is great, you can thereafter go to your browser, and just as you used to do routerlogin.com in earlier instances, you would hereafter log into 192.168.1.1, and then you will be prompted to set up a user account, and then you will be good from there. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please drop your question in the comments. Thank you.